Hey y'all, what's going on? What's going on? So we got our last topic for episode 1, season 2. Last topic of the day is gonna be: do men use women and do women use men? Do men use women and do women use men? Let's go ahead and get into it, my brothers. How y'all feel about that, man?
Yeah, I mean, biblically speaking, a man is supposed to use his woman to be a helpmate, and a woman is supposed to use her man to be her protector. So yeah, and that ain't all we use each other for, you know.
Let's define use. When we say do men use women, do women use men, let's define it. What is use? What does use mean?
Take advantage.
Is use a negative or is it a positive? What y'all like?
Could be both, but I think. So
Go ahead, no, go ahead.
I was saying like it could be both, but I think nowadays I think it's more so in a negative way because everybody has been hurt. You know, everybody feels like they've been hurt by this person and by that person. So um, some people, not all, but some people use that as an excuse to get over on others, whether it's men or women. Because you see men doing that with women, you know. You see women doing that with men. On the men's side, you know, they could be using a woman for her
Box.
yeah, you know, for her body, using her for the things that she has, you know, if she has things, using her for, you know, her time or whatever. But on the same side, it could be a woman using a man for his finances, his status, you know, his the things that he's built for himself, and she's just leading him on. I think nowadays it's more prevalent whenever you see women taking advantage of because men have no awareness. A lot of guys are very naive, and a lot of guys don't really understand like what's really going on in a situation between them and a woman. And so she's leading, and she understands that she doesn't really have emotional feelings for the guy, but he thinks that there's something there. And so she's leading him on and using him. Meanwhile, he's thinking that he's actually going somewhere. And a good example I would say is how a lot of guys get put in the friend zone. A lot of guys think that they have an opportunity with the woman. Meanwhile, the woman really knows that there's no chance for him. So he's being nice and he's putting up this front thinking that it's going to get him somewhere in the future. But she's already boxed him in a certain category that she's never going to remove him from. You know, and that's one way how
How do
it goes
you
down.
how do you know when you're being used?
When the energy that you give off is not being reciprocated. At least in my opinion. What do you think?
How do you feel, Lewis?
That would be mine too. When I'm doing something, I'm just not getting the same in return. I'm giving you 100%. You're not giving me 100%.
And then people turn around and say, I hate being used or I hate being taken advantage of or mistreated. Meanwhile, they doing the same thing to somebody. It's like somebody's doing it to them, but they're doing it to somebody else. And that other person's doing it to somebody else. And that person's doing it to the first person. So it's like a circle.
STDs just going on. Sound like about a lot of STDs.
Sounds like the dating pool in Kansas City.
That is a fact. Yeah,
Or Wichita.
I definitely agree with John. Like, men use women, women use men. They just use each other for different things. Women want something different and have different needs than the man want.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, and men are simple shit. For real, for men, if you giving up that box and a little sloppy top, don't get to cooking somehow. Shit. I mean, men are really simple. They don't really want too much. A woman, like, when she using you, shit, it can get bad. Don't get me wrong, there's situations where men are using women not just for sex, but for money, too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a lot of, well, those aren't men, those are what we call males. And but more instances, like, I see more instances when it comes to like the financial thing. It's definitely women using men for their financials and money and whatever they can provide or offer. And like if they don't, I mean, but it just done got bad in today's day and age. I guess you could say it's
Everybody
just
for themselves. It's all about me, and not what we can accomplish together. It's what you got and what you got over here, and what I got over here.
mm-hmm.
If you don't have what I think you should have, then I'm gonna move on to the next. We supposed to be trying to build something together.
Yeah, most people that think like that, they don't never build nothing. They wake up 60, 70 and they ain't built nothing at all. They 60, 70 years old, been passed around. A woman that has so many partners, she can't even number them.
She can't, what they call it, bond.
Pair bond.
Yeah, pair
Yeah,
bond.
like you over 30 years old and so many men that enter into you, it's like, what value is in it?
I got a different perspective on that. I think women are still able to pair bond with guys, even though what the woman has had a lot of previous partners. I just don't think that a lot of guys really bring a lot to a woman to where it changes her whole like perspective on guys. I think that
I want to pose a question for you.
what's up?
If this woman's 34, 35, 30s, she ain't met no brother since she was 17, 18 that was bringing that to the table.
Possibly. But the same way
Or
she overlooked
vice versa with a man too.
right. The same way she overlooked a couple good ones, the same way some of us overlook a couple good women, and then we go through, a series of women that aren't necessarily for us, or we're not in the right mind state.
Man,
You know,
we passed us some good ones, man.
That's what we want, not what we
It ain't even
exactly.
it ain't even like you pass them up, but sometimes you take for granted what they are, and you don't treat them the way you're supposed to. So they know they value and they worth, and they keep it pushing.
That's why I was.
And I hate you for doing it.
That's why
you know your value.
That's why I was saying, like, women who've had a lot of partners, women who've had a lot of bodies in the past, they're still able to pair bond. I think they're still able to pair bond with men. I just think that they've experienced so much of the same BS from guys that they automatically can pinpoint those repetitive patterns in the next guy. Now, I'm not saying that every guy is just like the last, but I'm saying that
He gonna do the same thing, just in a different way.
in a different way, and she can see that. So she's like, this is not something that I'm going to be serious about. You know what I'm saying? So it takes a certain man to where she can't revert back to her past by watching his actions, because of how consistent he is or because of the way he moves. That's the type of guy that I think changes her outlook and actually makes her want to be better, versus what she's been experiencing in the past. That's just my perspective. That's how I think.
Like, I look at it like when the woman is searching for something. Like, if you looking for a man that's in a certain financial situation, his time is not going to be yours. His time is going to be focused on what got him in that financial stability that he has.
Trying to stay there.
And when he's not in that mode, like the time he has for you, that same time he may be using to rest, to relax. Like, he gotta separate the time when he can have the enjoyment and the fun and different things like that. I think
He's not spending enough time with me.
Yeah, but
I'm neglected.
right, people that are in financially stable situations, bro, that man has to spend a lot of his time, like,
Making sure they stay where they are.
yeah, until he gets to the age of 40 and 50 when he done built it up well enough and strong enough to where he still got that same amount of financial stability and still can have time for you because he didn't put himself in a position where he can do that. But people gotta understand when they dating in their 20s and in their 30s, wow, this man trying to build himself up. If you dealing with a man like that, it's not gonna be that much time for you. You have to have understanding of that. You gotta know that. Like he can't. It's not. It's only 24 hours in a day, and it's only the work cycle is from Monday through Thursday or Monday through Friday. Like he gotta get his money within that cycle. Like depending on how he get his money. So it's like. I just think it's a lack of understanding sometimes from both sides, from the male and the female perspective of like what you want and what you need and how it's and in the way it's gonna happen. You gotta be real with yourself. Like and then if you're not tripping on a man's financial stability, well then I don't be understanding how these women is hopping from nigga to nigga. Cause you gotta build something with somebody then. Cause like if it's financial ain't the reason why you're leaving, if you're not focused on that, then you gotta be building with a man like. Cause it's too many people, and I put the onus on women because women be the ones. Women leave men more than men leave women. So like, as far as like with the woman, what are you looking for? What are you searching for? Because you leave this man and you go to another man and that nigga be on the same shit, just do it differently. He probably even worse. Like, so I don't know. And then you get the point where you fall into the mode of, well, he did this and he did that, so I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. And now you done lost yourself. You don't even know who you are anymore. You done lost yourself. Yeah, like so. Like for the man definitely gotta know where he's at in life. Are you building yourself up? Are you comfortable where you at? And you just want to ride it out at that level that way until you know what I'm saying? Like I think both people gotta know where they at, understand where they at, and then you can get a better evaluation of where you going, man. Like somebody gotta be on your wavelength. Like you said, putting out the same, not only just putting out the same energy that I'm giving you, but putting that energy into the same things that I'm giving energy into. Like, straight up, just being on the same page. Because a lot of the dating that goes on is really kind of just about physical. That's how it starts. It's starting off of physical attraction, which makes sense. Like, you go and look at somebody, and if you not physically, like if you don't think this woman is beautiful, like you probably ain't gonna want to date. Like her face or her body or something on you that attracted you to it. Like unless you get the opportunity where you get to work with somebody and you get to indulge into their mind, and then you fall in love with their mindset. You know what I'm saying? Which is more valuable. Cause like when you're young, it's definitely physical. Now, like especially having experience and going through experiences, me personally, it's like I'm definitely valuing what this woman's mind is about and what she thinks is important, what she is trying to accomplish. Where's her mind at? Is she growing? Is she doing the same thing she was doing 5 years ago? Like it's real important. Like the mentality of the person, the mind, the person's spirit. Like, what is your spirit pulling you towards? What is your spirit pulling you to? Like, are our spirits going in the same direction, bro? Like, That's important. Like, for real. A lot of relationships that don't last is because it was basically, it started off physical, it was based on physical. It wasn't gonna last anyway. It's only so long, like, unless we fucking 4 or 5 times a week and shit. I'll stay.
But that can never last, because eventually that spark fades, you know. And there needs to be more substance beyond that spark.
So you find the spark somewhere else.
Exactly. And once that spark somewhere else lights up, then you start to take. See that I think that's a really good point, because that falls a line as to why people use people. They see a spark in somebody, right? Whether it's physical, and they just want to feed off of it. You know, they want to be consumed with it. They want to be engulfed in it, and
Want to see what it's about.
yeah, they want to see what it's about, so they feed into it until they catch another spark somewhere else. And instead of saying, "Hey, look, I got something good that I'm building on right now," they gravitate toward that next spark because they think that it might be better, or they think that it might be more valuable, you know. And they end up realizing that they used somebody
I want to go deep.
until the next spark.
I want to go deep. It's I always got to be the one to go here.
Just do it.
It's a woman. Is it a woman for a man, and is it a man for a woman? Like,
It's a woman for a man.
I mean, and I'm saying that to say, like, did God create man and woman just for one man to be with one woman to be with one man?
Good question.
Because if you ask me, going off the percentages and going off of the stats, it ain't working. Man's way of trying is not working. Because for those that believe in the word and believe in the good Bible, so let me ask y'all this: does God change? What he believes is right and what he believes is wrong, does that change?
Say the stone.
Okay, so he created Adam and Eve, and the rest of the world, and all of us all came through. Adam and Eve had children. Adam and Eve, these are for the people that believe in the word, believe about it. Adam and Eve children was having sex with each other to have more children. What we call sister and brother had to be in a relationship with each other, whoop, whoop, whatever, blah, 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 blah. And this is how you get the world that we have today. I just bring that up to say is that the Creator approaches and looks at the relationship between a man and a woman differently than what we do as people. Like, our emotions and feelings get into the way of what is actually natural. Nature. Like, and that's where the confusion comes in, because it's like, I seen a sister online just talking about how, this is an Israelite sister, they in the truth and all that, and she was telling her husband, like, and other women, like, don't be trying to come for my husband. It says one man to a woman, one woman to a man, whatever. I just go back to the basis and the foundation, everything. Those are all man-made ideals. Moses came up with marriage and divorce and all that. If you look up adultery in Hebrew, it's not the same meaning as it is in English. It's just not. It just is not. Like, and yeah, and this been relationships with one man. I'm gonna be honest, all the relationships I know personally between one man and one woman, these people have cheated on each other. In the 40, 50 years, either the man cheated or the woman cheated. And we all look at it. I don't even want to call it cheating. The man has sex with another woman, the woman has sex with another man, or something, whatever. Like men having sex outside of who they were married to is not new to this earth. It's is not new to this earth at all. It's not something that started in the 20th century. Like, it's been going on for thousands of years. You know what did start in the 20th century? Child support. Being able to tear up a nigga pocket. Because what does a woman use against a man to make a man be faithful in this generation? Child support. Money. Or how she could break his pockets and kill him if they done had children together.
But is she using that against him?
Hell yes. That's her level.
Or is he choosing the wrong woman? Some women, if you got that big of enough influence, some women would never put you on child support. You know, they'll see the value. They'll see so much value in you to where they'll find a different way.
I look at it like this. In most situations I've seen, to the men that don't give a damn about the children, most of those women don't put him on child support. Because he don't give a fuck about them kids anyway. That nigga gonna leave, he don't give a fuck. But when you care about the children, you want to be in a child life, that's when they can use that against you. Because you care. Because a man that don't care, it don't matter what you do to him. Because he don't give a shit. Like, he don't give a damn at all. Because he wasn't about to take care of them kids anyway. Like, so, do whatever you gotta do. Like, but see, but that goes back to what I'm saying. Like, the thousands of years, women didn't have nothing in leverage to use on the man. Like, because whether or not it's right or wrong for a man to be dealing with multiple women, the woman's still going to feel a certain type of way when she sees that man with another woman, whether it's right or wrong. Her feelings are still real. So she has to, I ain't going to say she has to. Some women feel like they got to do something to make, like I was talking about earlier, like, the feeling, it's a feeling there that they feel bad, a negative. They need something positive, they feel like, to get rid of that negative. And sometimes for them, that is what that is, hitting their pockets up. Like, that changes that negative feeling for them into a positive, even if it's only for a moment. Because it's not a sustainable positive feeling, you know what I'm saying, for them to replace that at all. That's just something small. Unless she getting like some of these entertainers, like some of these women divorcing their husband getting $20,000 a month in child support. Like,
Just using the kids.
Yeah, that's just wild. That's just crazy. Like, so I don't know. So I don't know how. It's just like, but I know a lot of people. I'm going deep now. Like, cause a lot of women and a lot of people, they don't want to hear that at all. Like, they don't want to hear that at all. Like, but judging by statistics over time, I'm just being real. But if we going off of stats, husband and wife, woman and husband, that shit ain't working. It's not working. We in the age of statistics and numbers. this shit ain't working. Yeah, this shit ain't working, bro. Like, the divorce rate was what? I don't know, it's like 60%, over 60%. Yeah, what's the divorce rate in the U.S.? In the U.S. right now? What's the divorce rate in the U.S. right now? It's getting low. Go ahead and look that up real quick. What's the divorce rate right now?
So
The American Psychological Association estimates that the probability of a first marriage ending in divorce within the first 10 years is approximately 33% in 2023.
33%? That ain't that bad. So 70% of them is lasting.
Well, that's within first 10 years. So
So you saying that some people getting divorced after 10 years, basically?
most people are getting divorced.
My parents got divorced after 10 years. They got married in 82. They got divorced in 95. Is that for you?
Oh no.
Is that for you? Yeah, man. So I don't know, my brothers. But we are living in a world that I know is not going to go to the place that I'm going to. So
Well, I mean,
I live in the matrix, but I understand reality.
that's a lot. Like to get down to the basis of things. That's just the natural way of who we are as men. You know, we want to conquer and spread our seed. You know, and whether a lot of guys,
That's what we was put here to do.
whether a lot of guys, accept or agree to that,
Or
you can see it, or women, you can see it in nature. You can see it in our actions. And I'm not saying that might be the best route to choose, but
You happy, look pretty happy to me.
it looks can be deceiving. But it's something that we see a lot, and it's something that we can't avoid or try to run from. You know what I mean? So it's something that we have to come to grips with. Like, is our society gonna stay a monogamous society, or is it gonna become more polygamous in the future?
I don't think we really monogamous anyways. Well, people just doing people all over. Cause this married woman throwing that coochie around like they throwing that ass in the circle for plenty of men.
Like they say.
Like for real, for real. And it's like y'all believe y'all believe in the same thing I'm talking about. Y'all just ain't got the I mean, it's a right way and a wrong way to do everything. I ain't saying people just supposed to be out here just having sex randomly just with whoever and whatever, but like,
So
I don't know. It's hard to trust certain situations and how things is going right now with certain people. Like they said, trying to find a needle in a double haystack.
so right now, the divorce rate is actually about 50%. It's hovering around 50%. So half the people that's been married, they don't make it. The other half are not gonna make it. And I think each decade, I think that number increases. So more and more people are starting to get divorced more. And relationships are not as solid as they used to be back in the 20th century, given that we're in the 21st century right now. So who knows where this world is headed? It seems like it's only getting worse.
What is a woman willing to put up with? What is a man willing to put up with?
We got to just make sure that we choosing the right person for us. Choosing somebody that agrees with the beliefs that we have.
I think that you just hit on the biggest issue is like the level of people with no morals has increased. Like people with no moral fortitude has increased over the last 50 years, over the last 100 years.
Ethics.
No nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Nothing good.
yeah, like media has taken over. Like people really be trying to validate the way they living with these shorts on Instagram and YouTube and like it's grown ass women 30 years old. Y'all like sexy red. I'm just using her as an example. How old is she?
Even Megan Thee Stallion, grown women like Megan Thee
Y'all
Stallion.
grown as hell. Y'all following little girls' methods of living and ideology. Where the elders at? Why y'all not listening to the woman that been married to her husband for 30, 40 years? When do we start listening to the youth? The youth is the answer to the problem. In America, that's definitely what it turns to in America. The whole world ain't like this.
I think the youth is crying out for help, but they're not saying they need help. They're just acting out recklessly through the actions.
Passport brothers, salute you.
Hey man, Passport brothers got problems, man.
Go back to season 1. We got a topic on this too. Go to season 1. We got a topic
if the
about this.
Passport bros can't get right here, man, they're
Nah,
doomed
man.
overseas.
Nah, man.
I'm telling y'all,
Nah,
man.
man. It's different type of
I'm
women.
telling y'all,
It's
man.
different type of women, bro.
I'm telling y'all.
The culture is different
Over here, man, than it is in another place, though.
It's true.
Cause like in
Wrong,
China,
it's
bro,
true.
in China, you know they got a law against how many children you can even have.
Yeah.
You can't have as many, like, you just think about that. A brother done learned his whole life since he was 6, since he could know how to read in China. Like, damn, I can't even have that many children. So you definitely out here just living sexually irresponsible.
Go to Dubai and act like
Right. You can't act like Cardi B and all them doing all that reckless screaming and hollering. You gonna be in jail.
Yeah.
They're gonna put you in jail. Women can't even behave in a certain type of way. Like these women over here and men just doing whatever. There's no accountability. There's no man. Look, Passport brothers salute you.
Passport brothers, y'all need to get it together.
Cause look, I'm gonna put it like this. You can't keep looking for oil in the same place. If you've been searching for oil for 20 years in that same spot, thinking you gonna hit and strike for oil, you ain't gonna get oil, man.
Who's the common denominator?
The brother looking for oil in that same spot.
No,
So you need to go.
That's too
so
much.
you need to go somewhere else.
The common denominator is the brother. Look, my thing with the Passport bros is, if you have issues here, why run away from your problems? Why not just be better?
No, it's not running away from your problem, though. It's like this. When you shooting a shot on the outside rim with the double rim, it's gonna be harder to make shots on that rim. It just simply is. You can't hit the rim too much.
Okay,
you gotta hit all nets. So why don't you go play at a court where it's a single rim, where you're not trying to shoot through the double rim shot?
Why not shoot 100 shots a day? Better yet, why not you shoot 500 shots a day? So that once you get on double rim
That's
or
what
single
brothers
rim,
are doing.
No.
They're shooting 500 shots a day.
No.
And some of them are hitting, and some of them are missing.
No, they're shooting 5 shots, getting upset that they missed 4 of them, and then they go into a different court doing the same thing. They're not putting in the time to work on themselves. They're not putting in the time to build. They're not putting the time to grow and evolve. They're just like, I want this now. If I don't get it now, I gotta go to overseas to get it.
Hey, majority of the men and women in this country are trash.
I agree.
Trash. I'ma say it. They're trash. Men and women. Majority of them are trash. The culture here is trash.
But you do understand, there's still a population of that in whole that is still solid, even though it's
just like trying to find a needle.
You're gonna hate that.
Okay, so
like
why not?
We looked at the worst 5 dating cities. What's the worst dating country in the world? This one.
I don't know if it's this one.
Shit.
I would look.
Shit.
I would look
We
up.
not including third world countries.
Because they probably the best. The third world countries is probably the best.
Because they ain't got nothing.
Yeah, but
so
nobody's
they
trying
They ain't got all these distractions.
But nobody's trying to live in a third world country where they can't even get water though. So they're like, you know,
Shit,
we might
who
as well-
said they can't get water? They don't. Third world countries are considered third world countries because they don't have technology, not because they don't have natural resources.
Okay, so
Because they don't have
technology
technology.
means that they can't get adequate heating, they can't get adequate
Adequate heating, bruh.
adequate shelter.
Oh
adequate
my!
water,
Those
adequate
where was the
food.
world before air conditioning units? Like cold and hot is new to the world.
Bruh, the world may have been a better place without air conditioning units as far as balance wise, but now we're in this new century where there's no balance. There's countries that have all this resources and that are wasting food, wasting electricity, wasting money, and then there's countries that don't even have anything.
Well, we getting off topic. I want to get back to the dating side. All I'm saying is them third world countries dating pool or marriage and do the marriages last are way better than this one.
That's because they're not worried about what the next celebrity said on Twitter, what the next celebrity said on
Exactly.
IG.
And that's
they're
exactly
not
why
focused
this
on all
coach
that stuff every second.
wake. Like, bro, if you walk into a restaurant, just step into there and walk, and not even a restaurant or a mall or somewhere out in public, and bro, just see how many people faces in their damn phone. And it's to see what somebody, like, bro, our culture is watching somebody else live life. Because that's all these people doing that you watching, they living life. And they form a manner and they're putting it out there for other people to see. And that's what our culture is. It's terrible. It's trash.
Just because you found your needle in the haystack. You found yours. You don't need a passport. You don't. Shit.
But I had to work on myself for a long time. I had to fix the areas that I had issues with before I found my needle, and that made my chances a lot easier to find the needle in the haystack. Because then I was looking for what I actually needed versus what looked good or what felt good, you know, or what sounded good. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I put most of the focus on us as men, is that we have to really build on ourselves. We can't expect women to just be on the same page and be working on themselves, because then we'll be waiting forever. So we gotta evolve as men so that we can figure out what things that we need, what things that we need to look out for, things that we need to establish as non-negotiables, so that anybody that we
Man,
find,
we
like,
helped you find that needle. We was going through the haystack and we said, hey, this is a good needle to keep, nigga. This needle work. But yeah, I mean, you right.
But we all gotta do that for each other. You know what I'm saying? So.
Well, when you see a good needle, let me know. Nah, I'm just playing. Don't let me know shit. I'm good.
See, look, there you go. We all need
No, I don't even
somebody
want.
that's gonna match our energy. Somebody that's
Dude,
on
I
the
don't
same
want no.
frequency as us.
Nah,
When the most high see fit.
yeah, I'm cool. I don't need no feminine energy. Y'all stay where y'all at. Stay away from me. Stay away.
I ain't on that level yet. I ain't there yet.
Stay away from me, bro. Cause look, if I tell them to stay away from me, the ones that's supposed to make it through gonna make it through. This firmament is about to be is solid.
Say solid.
The only ones that's gonna slip through is supposed to slip through. Like, I don't, man, I'm good. Like, that energy is put out. I'm put out that energy.
So how do y'all want to close it up? So we still talking about using people. The Lou.
I want to just close it out and saying that love yourself, and then you'll figure out how to love somebody else.
Stop using people. Stop using people and then getting mad when somebody uses you. You don't belong there. Stop doing that. Myself included. We all got things to work on. So
Think about building instead of taking. Togetherness instead of me, us.
I finish it on none of you.